lace yarn. You podcasters are total enablers. Karen from Around the Twist, Heather from Highland Handmaids. Somebody else mentioned something else I bought, so I've got, I can't remember even the name of it. I posted on Plurk. I bought lace from Heather. I bought some stripy sock yarn from 3U's. I don't know. I'll show it to you when it gets here. Should be here in a couple weeks. They do each batch specially. So, yeah. Reservations. Just a couple things. Needlebound gave me mentioned. I don't remember if it's her latest podcast or if I was behind. I think I was behind. But thank you very much for the shout out. And here's one right back at you. Go check out Needlebound. She totally cracks me up. I like her. So, a couple other things in reservations. We have 119 members as of the recording time of this podcast. And it was Sailor Juliet. I don't know what my cat's doing. It was Sailor Juliet. She was number 100. I hadn't necessarily planned on doing anything, but I think I'm going to. In my wish list on Ravelry, I had queued Twisted and Twining Cowl, which is by Fiber Nymph. She's also got a podcast you should go check out. And I got two of them, actually. So they sent me 2 copies, so they're 2 paid-for copies, so no one get freaked out about copyright. I'm keeping a copy for myself, and the other one I'm going to give to Sailor Juliet. So I will drop you a line and get your personal email, and I will shoot you a copy of the pattern. So, and she's at 90% knitting, by the way. So go check her out. Very fun, and it's a beautiful cowl. Sorry, that's my cell phone. I didn't shut it off. What else was I going to mention? Oh, I mentioned about the events I'm going to go to. And I'll mention them again because I don't know if I had dates for all of them. Acadia Fiber Fair is up by Bar Harbor, Maine, and that is in May 21st. Fiber Frolic is June 4th and 5th. That's just up the road from me here in Maine also. Fiber College is in September, and that is up in Searsport, Maine. That's right on the coast. Very pretty. And I believe Heather from Highland Handmaids is going to be teaching up there also. I think she's teaching at Frolic also. And then I mentioned the Knittin' in the Mitten, which is November 3rd through the 8th. There's 11 spots left. I know that, I believe it was Debbie. She signed up to go since it's right in her neck of the woods. And that's very exciting. So if you're in the if you're in the Michigan area and want to come out to Knittin' in the Mitten, or you're not, and you still want to come on out to Thursday through a Sunday. All the food's included. I think they've got one day where we might go out for lunch, but otherwise everything's included. And it's $180 for the entire weekend. So head over to the High Fiber Diet podcast, and she's got a thing there. I'm also going to put on there's a very good chance I'm going to be at Maryland Sheep and Wool. So if you are familiar with Wild Fibers, it's a knitting and yarn magazine, and actually the editor and owner is one of my regular pastors out of Maine. I ran into her last week when she was going to Stitches West, and she invited me to go with her to Stitches West next year. So I will be going to Stitches West next year. She came back, brought me the show book, and invited me to go with her to Maryland Sheep and Wool. I think it's the first weekend of May. I should have looked it up. I forgot. But there's a very good chance I will be at the Maryland Sheep and Wool. So I will keep you up to date if I'm going. And, yeah, that'll be that. Oh, one other thing I was going to mention with my February Lady sweater. For all of you sweater knitters, I will not claim to be a sweater knitter because the February Lady sweater is my first. Just like I will not claim to be a sock knitter because they take me forever. But you should try this. Try it on tubing for hand knitters. It's made by Machine Knitting to Die For. And I will link her in the show notes. I don't think it's in there now. I'll get that switched. But it's Machine Knitting to DYE4.com. And it's tried on tubing. It's just this tubing that it comes in a couple different lengths. And you stick it on the end of your needle. And it creates a little suction. And you pull it through your knitting. I think this is... I'm sorry, I don't know how long this is. It's a couple yards. So like you've got plenty of space. Then you can try on your sweater. And you won't pull it off the needles. So it's only a couple dollars. I know that it was mentioned in the Knitwits podcast, and the owner actually wrote Karen a letter and said that her sales had gone up a ton since being mentioned. So not that I have the following of the Knitwits, but I'll push this because it's very cool. I think that's it. I told you there was no knitting. I don't have any. I'll show you some stuff I made. I guess I'll do like what Karen does. Karen from Run the Twist will show stuff that she's made in the past. These are an off-take of the fetchings. I took a thing of Malabrigo and I broke it in half. And I did the pattern all the way up. I made it really tight in the wrist, so I cast on 5 less than it was supposed to. So they're really long, and they're really long up here. I would make the thumb a little longer if I had extra, but I can work, and I can still work the dials on the radios and all the buttons I need to push, but my hands stay warm. And then this is made. It's way too big. I totally botched it, but I didn't care. This is actually my very first hand spun. I made a cowl out of it. I don't remember the pattern. It's on my Ravelry page. But, yeah, it's really thick and thin. But it's Highland Handmaids. It's my first hand spun. I made something with it. I didn't want it to go to waste, so I made a cowl. And it's supposed to be tight enough that you can, like, pull it up on your head. But it's a little, it's a little too loose. So, on that note, we're at 20 minutes. I will let you guys go tonight. And hopefully next week's episode has more knitting. So, sorry for the lack of knitting. It should just be traveling on the fly this week and not knitting on the fly. Because I don't have heart. Like I said, about 10 rows all week. I was just too tired. So, I'm going to go to bed tonight and get some sleep and take care of my kitties. And I will talk to you guys next week. I hope you have a good week. I hope winter goes away soon and we can all start enjoying the summertime. And that would be it. I think I said and about 5,000 times tonight, so I apologize. But have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.